Hello again, friends. This is part 2 of the lesson on the Loure by Bach in the E major Partita. And so we'll be going ahead starting in measure, the anacrusis to measure 12. So we just finished, so I'm going to continue. If I decided to play the opening down up, I'll do the same here. If I decide on that performance to play up down at this point, I'll play whichever I decide. It's just a momentary artistic decision. I want to be consistent with both halves. If I'm going to start up, I'm going to start second half up. But for now, for the moment, let's just start down. Now I'm hooking. And notice there's a lot of parallels between the first section and the second. This is a hook, just like I did. So try to be consistent with your bowings. It makes it a little bit clearer to your audience. Now I made an artistic decision here. There's a traditional trill. And you could decide to do that, but I felt like in the mood that I'm setting the music, I don't want to do the trill here. So I'll play I drop the E. And in bar 13, I just drop the F sharp, letting that lower line predominate all the way through the piece. And you could go to my performance of this and listen to how the lower lines get brought out when you shorten those notes below. You really, it's a nice effect. Now here's an interesting fingering. This is in the second half of measure 13, where I'm in half position, and I wanted to preserve that C sharp, exactly the same pitch. So I stay in half position, and then on the last B, I come back to first position. And that sets me up for this, where I'm sort of focusing in on the C sharp to get the E sharp. And here's another one of the traditional with this business. I felt like I don't need it. So I play. Same thing here. I left it out. I don't want to use it. So I'll play from the pickup to 14. Here's another one. Could be done, but so you notice I wouldn't call it making the music romantic. I'm just bringing the emotional feeling of the music, letting the notes without these ornaments that are stuck in there. And when there is an ornament that makes sense to me, that there should be something, so it could be done. I just do a little turn. So I'll play one more time so you can hear the whole thing. Okay, so that to me, that expresses what I need to feel. You know, other ways of playing it for sure. So we'll go ahead. Notice all through here, I'm dropping the bottom accompaniment, letting that sort of stand by itself. Now we're at bar 18. Bar 18 has got a dotted quarter, And I mean, there's several ways you could try to play this. You could slide your second finger up if you want to preserve the dotted quarter. You could also just jump. I decided to just make the dotted quarter a quarter, which allows that line. And I even dropped the G sharp a little short so the line comes out nicer. Now here I'm going to hook, of course, because I obviously I did that. I'm all the way through the piece. I'm hooking the first two beats basically on the bowing. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which preserves that feeling of the Loure, of, you know, either it's in 3 or it's in 6 with a big 2. So I'm preserving that feeling of 2 through the. So here. So now I'm going to shift, going right to second position, back to first finger. I'm still in second position. And then there's this interesting looking chord, F double sharp with E natural. Just think the G, don't mess with it. So you're in second position, back to first position. Back to second position. Now here again, now there's a trill and a turn. I just do a Nachschlag. Oh, well, it's not a Nachschlag, no, excuse me. It's just a quick turn. And then the Nachschlag. Oh, and I allow myself a little extra expression here in bar 21. With that slide. I mean, you could play clean, but I just felt like, hey, this is a nice moment after the trill, a little turn and Nachschlag. Now here's where I changed my bowing a little bit on this one bar 21, the end, since instead of that, I played to get the momentum going up. And then ready, back to half position, then first. It's a nice effect there. I'll play for you before. And there, just like a couple of bars before, I do a quick turn before the Nachschlag. Now I do this one a little bit different. I'm coming in up bow, and then I'm going to separate because the ending is a little bit complicated. So I want to start this up. There again, I'm dropping the bottom note, making a clean shift to second position. And instead of the trill, which I don't like, I do a turn. And I do an extra bow in there. And then shifting back. So I'm in second position until the very last note. There's a little risk switching on the last note from the E to the 4. You could. I tried the fingered octave. I didn't feel secure in it. See, if you play the fingered octave, then you're secure in the third finger, but the first finger might be out of tune. So you have to just make a choice. If you move your whole hand, maybe you're a little more stable. Depends on what your comfort level is. You could definitely repeat both sections of this piece, or you could repeat neither section. I think it's totally artistic decision. If you're playing the piece alone, without the other movements. Maybe you repeat both sections. If you're going to play the whole piece all the way through from preludio all the way through to the jig, maybe you won't. Maybe you only repeat the first section, or it just you gotta judge your audience. You'll have a sense if you're performing whether the audience has had enough. I mean, just trust your instincts. Okay, well, I think that's all I have to say on this piece. It's a lovely, lovely piece. I hope this is helpful to you with ideas for fingering, bowing, these little ornaments and whatever. So there is no right, there is no wrong. Just Isaac Stern told me, he says, it doesn't matter what you say, but say something. That's the important part. Be engaged. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.